Afternoon brewers, and welcome to the latest edition of Beers in My Backyard. It's a big day in this household, AFL Grand Final day. Unfortunately, the Tigers not in it, as you know, so this household will be cheering on Collingwood's. I'll be manning the barbecue. It's clean, backyard's clean, got some in-laws coming around. It's going to be a big day. One thing I'm very, very happy about, perfect timing, means I've got a fridge full of these, the Baswegian Blonde Ale. Quick tasting today, so let's give it a crack. Now, I have tried a couple of these already. We'll see how this one goes. One thing I'm very, very happy with, got my official mug, classy, is the colour. Absolutely stoked with the way that it's come out. Beautiful. Golden blonde there. Decent head in this one as well, nice and bubbly. So much better using the dextrose than it was carbonation drops. So absolutely chuffed with the colour, barely any sediment. Probably the cleanest beer that I've ever produced, which is just great. Smell-wise, a couple of days ago I really couldn't smell anything, but now there's a little bit of herbal activity going on in here. Just a tiny, tiny bit of fruit too. Not much. Like I said, the last couple I've had are really, really dry. I've just noticed there's a bit of trub floating around near the top there, so unfortunately, that's made it into this bottle, but that may also be providing some of the flavours today, so we'll see how we go. But really stoked with the colour of it, the head retention, just fantastic, so let's give it a crack and see how we go. It's really dry, sort of very, very malty. A little bit more fruit in this one than the last couple, so I'm very, very happy with that. Maybe I'll just leave more of the trub in there. Yeah, a little bit grainy as well. It's really dry. It's really dry. It's really dry.
Okay, I'm going to stop myself there because in a nutshell, this one was an absolute failure. Well, not an absolute failure, but it really wasn't good. It was dry as dry could be, kind of like a desert. It was bitter and overly bitter. Not just a nice medium level of bitter, but way too bitter for what it should be. So it was dry, it was bitter, it was twisted, it was pretty hard drinking, let's be honest. Now, credit where credit is due. My father-in-law, Barry, did attempt to say some nice things about this beer, which, good on you, Baz, I love you, but it was crap. He actually compared it to something his old man used to drink out of the early 70s, something about a 6 p.m. ale or something that Foster's made, perhaps. I don't know anything about it, but obviously that can't have been that good if it's compared to the mess that I made with this one. So what went wrong? Well, a couple of things. Firstly, with scaling things down, and I took a recipe that was for a 21-litre batch and used some calculations to scale it down to a 5-litre batch. I scaled everything relatively the same, and unfortunately the hops acid reacted a little bit differently. Plugging in all the values into the Wort app through Android, I actually discovered that I had 2.5 times the bittering units than I actually needed. So 2.5 times bitter than what it should be. That is, not on at all. So that wasn't good. There was a lack of flavour and lack of aroma. I didn't dry hop enough. So in this case, it's a case of too much bittering hops and not enough dry hopping for aroma and also some flavours in there. The most flavoursome one out of the batch was the one that accidentally ended up with a little bit of trub in the bottle too. So that's really, really disappointing. The astringent, really dry thing, still working on that. Could have been the grains, could have been a number of things, but it just did not add to any pleasurable experience from this beer. And that's really, really disappointing. So if I can leave you with a top tip, and this has definitely been a learning experience for myself as well, if you're planning to do things on a reduced scale or you're trying things, a brand new recipe or whatever it is, maybe plug it into a handy app or program like Beersmith and those kinds of things just to see if they cough up any red flags. Because if I plugged all the values into the Wort app originally, it would have told me that I'd been using too many bittering hops in to scale it right back. So it may have marginally saved this particular brew. But hey, lesson learned, and onwards and upwards for the next one.